I'm Paul Ryden for Fiserv. As the pain of a prolonged recession spreads, many Americans are responding by closing their wallets and changing how they're managing their finances. In a recent survey, 64% of consumers said they were spending less money. Half of consumers have canceled vacations or delayed plans to buy a car in response to the recession. Lee and Jay Hallinan of Atlanta are among the growing number of consumers who are trying to save more and spend less money.
We're definitely more conscious in what we're purchasing. Even more so now, I think about, are our jobs secure? How much money do I need to be saving now so that should something happen, we have some money in the bank.
The Hallinans save by packing their lunches and cutting back on magazine subscriptions. The couple has also put the brakes on plans to buy a new car. Instead, Jay frequently rides his bike or takes Atlanta's rail system to work.
I am able to keep a old beater car that I love because it's so inexpensive to drive. And if I have to fix it once or twice a year, it's still a lot cheaper than a car payment.
According to a recent survey, consumers are changing the way they manage their money during the downturn. Steve Shaw of Fiserv recently spoke with Emmett Higdon of Forrester Research about the study findings.
A lot of new trends are about consumers kind of changing their spending habits and savings habits with the economy. How have you kind of seen that affect the way that they're looking at their finances and their relationships with their financial institutions?
Sure, so it's not surprising. We see customers during stressful times like this, during the recession. We see this throughout. The research that Forrester does in some unsurprising ways. Customers are paying more with cash, turning more towards savings to have to pay bills, resort to dipping into savings to pay bills by credit card, perhaps pay a late payment. So we certainly see the obvious impacts on how customers are having to manage their finances.
A sign of the weak economy? A record 74% of consumers are focusing more on their finances than they did a year ago.
12 months ago, we might have looked at our finances, kind of taken a quick cursory look. Okay, this is where we are, this is what we've got, this is what we're saving, this is what we're spending, moved on, not thought a whole lot about it. Now, in the last 6 months, we've broken it down. We analyze all of our expenditures.
The Hallinans have managed to keep their jobs and stay in their Atlanta home. Others haven't been so lucky. At the nonprofit Consumer Credit Counseling Service, thousands of consumers call in every day looking for help. This year, the 24-hour counseling service expects to help more than 700,000 consumers across the country, up from 500,000 last year. One bright spot, an average of 7 out of 10 who receive counseling to avoid foreclosure will still be in their homes a year later.
We're seeing more people who formerly were in the middle class, a lot of two-income working couples, and sometimes even attorneys and engineers who are really losing business. Either their clients are not paying them or they're not getting contracts renewed. Nowadays, it's really people who have a lot of, they're really trying to save their home. They're facing foreclosure. They've either got mortgages that are resetting and they really can't afford to make the payment, or again, unemployment is really taking a toll on a lot of people.
Increasingly, consumers are turning to online and mobile banking to gain more control over their finances.
When you ask them about particular services that those financial institutions offer, like online banking, they consider those services to be vital. The banks have an opportunity to leverage those services that those consumers find vital to build trust if they design them correctly and manage the interactions and show some level of personalization.
You've got a well-informed customer, a lot more so than in the past, and that's really been driven by a lot of additional tools out there, data, access to information. So banks really have to be on their toes.
91% of consumers surveyed considered online banking to be an important tool for managing their money through the economic downturn.
Jay can log on at midnight and see where we are. If we have this, oh gosh, we need to, all of a sudden, Connor needs a whole lot of shots or something that was maybe an expense that we just hadn't thought about or hadn't planned. And we're like, okay, where are we with our money so that we can think about this and maybe not do something else? But it's nice because we can get on quickly.
The online channel is becoming more of a priority for them. They really want to feel more in control, if you will, of their finances, and the online channel helps them do that. They are able to get in, log in, see where they're tracking from a budgetary perspective, where are they spending their money, where can they make changes in certain categories to understand where they should be spending more or less, and really use those tools that are in the online channel to be more proactive and more disciplined, I guess, in managing their finances.
The hard times are causing some people to reassess what's important to them.
I hope that people with this crunch are realizing how much they do have. Yes, it's a little scary. You know, I think a lot of people don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year with the economy. Well, we just have to have faith that it's going to work out and pay attention to our finances and use the tools that are out there and just kind of hunker down until it passes.
For some consumers used to a lifestyle of free spending and easy credit, it won't be easy to adjust to the new economic realities. But as many consumers are forced to tighten their belts, they're looking to their bank or credit union and online banking to help them navigate through these tough times.